If I put energy and effort into getting better, I actually will get better. And so you can look at anything and say, okay, maybe I suck at this right now, which was the key realization for my life. Okay, I actually am not good. Like, my father-in-law wasn't crazy. I really wasn't anywhere useful for his daughter at that time. My mom wasn't crazy. I really was lazy. So she was just picking up on the fact that I was tremendously lazy. She wanted me to be successful, but she was just looking at my behavior. And so I hadn't been misidentified. People just didn't calculate how much I could change, and that I would so grasp onto the ability to change as an emotional life raft. And so the big switch was that I decided to believe that I could get better. And once I made that decision, it aligned my behaviors with skill acquisition. And that's all life is. Acquire skills. So your behavior is ultimately all that matters. So if you make all the right decisions, but you have, you absolutely think that it's impossible for you, but you still do the right things, you will win. The problem is that if you believe that it's never going to happen for you, you won't take the steps. And so when you look at how hard something is and you get partway down that road and you're like, wow, this is really hard. It's making me confront my insecurities. This does not feel good. And I don't believe it's possible anyway. Then why would you keep going? And the answer is you wouldn't. And so nobody does. And so everybody who believes it's impossible and encounters the difficulties that success will demand of everybody, they stop 100% of the time. And so by looking at yourself in the mirror and saying, I am a millionaire, I'm a genius, all this stuff, it may function as some eroding mechanism to those entrenched beliefs that it's never going to happen for you. That would not work for me because there's a part of my brain that just screams, this is bullshit. This is bullshit. So for me, I had to align with, what do I believe to be true about humans? I needed to accept that I was average. That was a huge moment for me because I tried to believe I was special, and either luck of the draw or the fact that I really am average, I've always been around a substantial number of people that are smarter than me or faster than me or stronger than, literally everything, every niche I tried to find, I would always run into somebody better than me. And it was devastating, really devastating. And the breakthrough for me was to accept that I was hopelessly average and that was still going to allow me to be successful. And so for me, the breakthrough was reading about the brain, just brain science and understanding brain plasticity. And so once I understood, whoa, your brain actually can change. So that means that just because I'm not good at something today doesn't mean I can't get good at it tomorrow. And so it was well, wait a second. If the average human is actually designed to get better, that is our fundamental design. Not that I'm special, not that I'm smarter than anybody. But once I realized, oh my God, that is what the DNA of the human animal is designed to do, is learn and grow from context. And so then it was just okay, word. If you're gonna just focus on being the learner, then get your sense of pride out of being willing to admit what you're not good at and to sit at somebody else's feet and learn. And all of my success is a result of that point. We have all these weird things baked in already. So 50% of you is just baked in. And then 50% of you is created really subtly from the time you are a child, and you have no idea that you're absorbing and creating these belief systems that are governing your value system, that are governing what you think is worthy of respect, which means if you think that the only thing worthy of respect is tremendous success, then you'll put yourself on that wheel trying to earn your own respect. And then if you don't get it, you'll be in the dumps. And then if you do get it, you're going to realize it didn't matter in the first place because you have these embedded things in your brain. And here's the most insidious. You will get this more than most. There is no amount of success big enough that you can stand in it forever. There's no meal big enough, no feast overwhelming enough that you never need to eat again, no drink so thirst quenching that you don't need to drink again. We get that with the bodily stuff. No sex so great that you don't want sex again. So why is it that we think that success would be any different? And people think it is. They think I will have reached that, right? If you read my resume, it sounds like I should just permanently be happy, right? You sold $1 billion company, you live in a really fancy house, you've got a lot of money. It doesn't work like that. None of that stuff carries any weight with me today. I have to earn my self-respect every day. And so I have to be really careful what I choose to value, because that will determine how I feel about myself when I'm by myself, which is ultimately all that matters, hypnosis. And he said people break into 3 personality types. And the personality type that struggles the most is the personality type that both experiences the world incredibly emotionally, but then has an analytical mind that ruminates on the emotions. And that's where I'm at. So I experience the emotional gamut of life, and it's incredible. I would never want to not. It's wonderful. Life is a roller coaster of incredible highs and lows, and meditation and my belief system allow me to even that out so that I never get too out of whack in any direction. But I'll loop on ideas. And if it's a negative idea about myself, I'll loop and loop and loop and loop and loop. And so that's why I said at the beginning, what you allow yourself to repeat is really going to determine the quality of your life. And so I have to really get good at interrupting that. So that's why meditation is the key for me to dealing with anxiety. Like as I can feel it ratcheting up, it's really my mind ruminating on all the ways that it could go wrong. And so I have to find a way to insert myself to break that rehearsal of failure and instead force myself to focus on rehearsing success, which it's almost silly, but it really does drop my anxiety to next to nothing. But I have to really forcefully insert myself. You can make one change to somebody's life. What change would you make to lower their anxiety? 100% their diet. Now, once that's regulated, it doesn't mean that it goes away. I still have anxiety. But when I think I've reduced it by 70% through diet alone. Now, the remaining 30% is still a pain, so you really do want to address it. And for that, I've had to turn to meditation. I've had to insert myself into my ruminating thoughts and be very thoughtful about that. I've had to adjust my belief system so that I'm not afraid of failure. Like there are a lot of things that I've had to do to get myself to that place. But if I could only make one change, it would be that. Now, living in the social media era is amazing. It's amazing, man. And it's given so much. And I think it's given far more than it takes. But you really have to be careful. Like to give people an idea, I have had a lot of success. I have a lot of the worldly things that people want. And even I can look at somebody's house. If people saw my house and then they hear the following statement, they will laugh. But I can look at someone's house and be like, yo, that's a house, right? So it never ends. Right? So it's like if I peeked out and I had the best house in the world, I'd be like, yeah, but Elon Musk just built a rocket that can carry 300 people to Mars. Like, what have I done? So there's always some other thing. So you've got to be psychotically careful about what you allow yourself to value yourself for, because I value achievement. I think it's extraordinary. I'm very glad that I have that. It makes me strive. It's pushing me to be a better version of myself. But at the same time, I have to be really careful not to let it damage my sense of self, which it will do very rapidly. And I think we have to agree that there is a North Star and for optimizing a human life. And I will say that which reduces suffering and elevates the individual to fulfillment, those would be my 2 things. Reduce human suffering in yourself and others, and elevate your sense of fulfillment in yourself and help other people do the same. Like that seems to be the cocktail for the most resilient mental state. Like you say we are both the shout and the echo. So we are what we say, do, and believe, but we're also what people tell us about the things that we say, do, and believe. And it matters because we're a tribe animal. So yeah, it gets real weird. And then you and I are both into Web3 in a big way. The only thing I know that's going to be more devastating to mental health than Web 2 and social media is Web 3. But it's also incredible. And it's so life-changing that we have to find a way to mitigate some of the bad. But you're taking all of the things of Web 2 and putting money on top of it. And so now people are really freaking out. What? You have to have a belief system that is both true and optimistic. Personal responsibility is true and wildly optimistic. And it is people's belief system and the value system that they cobble together over a lifetime that will lead them to reject that. And all I can say is reject it at your own peril for the following reason. Personal responsibility is about remembering you can do something and change. And I can sum up personal responsibility in a single quote by Kobe Bryant. Boos don't block dunks. That's personal responsibility. You can get so good at something that no matter how much people hate you, the best athletes in the world were paid millions of dollars and trained to stop Kobe Bryant from scoring And yet he scored 81 points in a single game. So you can get so good no matter how much people hate you, no matter how much they're training and trying to defeat you. They can't. If you feel like you are a victim and that life is out of your control and it's stacked against you and there's nothing you can do, when you are the recipient of legitimate injustice, the world is going to rally to your side and be like, yo, you've been wronged. We celebrate you. We love you. We elevate you. Like, this is just so crazy. It should never happen to you. That will feel awesome. And so you've been embraced. And there is a lot of cultural momentum around that. Now, the problem is that when you're by yourself, thinking about yourself, you feel disempowered and it does not feel good. And you're in a very dark fucking place, which is a big reason why I think right now that people are, suicide is like, depending on the age group, it's like the #1 leading cause of death for like teenage boys. That's nuts. So clearly something going on. So I don't think people will feel good about themselves when they're by themselves if they adopt that value system. But they are getting huge emotional rewards from the crowd. Now, the crowd can't save them again when they're by themselves. But to deny that to be embraced for something like that feels good would be foolish, because it really does feel good. The whole thing was there are 3 paths before you. Remain the oppressed, not going to do that. Become the oppressor, not going to do that. The third way is to find that way of unity. Oh my God, in communication, you have to admit your flaws, your insecurities. Like, you need to immediately go, okay, I'm angry. And I know that when I'm angry, it's because I'm insecure. What am I insecure about? Oh, I'm insecure about this. Oh my God. And then you just own it. Here's what's really going on for me. And now you can process through and get to where you really want to be. But most people assume they're angry because the other person is wrong. And once you assume you're angry because the other person is wrong, you're never going to get to the real issue. Relationships require too many sacrifices for them not to be the thing that you reinforce as your highest priority. And if it isn't giving you more than anything else gives you, then it will always lose out. And so ultimately, they will either be living parallel lives. Anybody that chooses this, you'll end up living parallel lives where you each have something that's more important. Like kids, you're standing in a room with 1,000 doors. Your job is to close 999 of them.